Just a quick sound check here. I won't be able to see my screen, so smiley face if you can hear me okay. Oh, that's not a good sign. Okay. It looks like you guys can hear me. So I'm gonna go ahead and record this demo and hopefully it works. Let's see if this even works here. This is a Kinematics, and this is the motor that makes the kinematic run, and this is the command that does it. So I hit play and it's not working. I don't know what's wrong with my system now. It was working this whole time. You see my wheel spinning there? I'm verifying that it actually works. But for some reason, when I hit play, it's not letting me play. It's like not even going into the player. This was a prismatic motor, so that part would move back and forth. I hit play and it should be moving. It's not going into the player down below. Oh, because I'm in Delmia equipment. I have to go to mechanical system design. And we'll hit play now. So there's a prismatic move. I didn't put any limits on this because the parts we have in class, they literally just come apart. So I could just slide this thing where it comes all the way off. Exit will take me back. I can hit play. That's the compass up in the top, the play button. I have a settings here. I'm doing the kinematics, and I can increase the frames. And it'll kick it up a little faster, so you can see the part coming apart here. Let's see. See if I get this one to work. So I got that wheel you made. We're gonna make a kinematic for this so it can spin like that. There's only a few steps to make it happen, but memorizing the few steps that make it happen drive me crazy. It's nothing like it was before. So I've been trying this a few times to make sure I can get it to work, but the last time I tried to get it to work, all of a sudden I couldn't get it working right. See if I have that example. That one, that one. Alright, I'm going to try and run through this step by step. The two workbenches we're going to use is equipment design and mechanical systems. And I don't know why they made this so difficult, but don't confuse this mechanical system design with a mechanical system experience. Okay, you want to be in mechanical systems, and what we do is we lock up all our degrees of freedom in the mechanical systems, and the equipment design is where we actually define the motion. So I'm going to go to mechanical systems design. Oh shoot, I was already in there. I saw another model in here I don't need. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot. I'm in Mechanical System Design Workbench up here in the top. I'm going to go to Engineering Connections to set everything. Now under here, I would think I would want to do my fix and grab the top piece so it won't move. But that always screws me up. I don't know what's going on in here that I don't get that to work right, so I'm just going to cancel out of that. Click on the top and use the anchor like we are in the assembly modes. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that. Now the number one mistake I see people make is that face is highlighted and I go into that engineering connection and it's working on that face now, and I don't want that. So make sure to click off the part so that's not on when you go into the engineering connections. In the engineering connection, I'm going to define cylinder, and order of selection might matter, but I think I've tried both and I've been having issues. So I'm going to just grab the outside cylinder of this. It finds the center of that wheel. I'm going to grab the center of this one here, and it gives me two axes that are coincident or concentric to each other. So they share the same axis. Okay. Now I've never had it shift off on me like that, so I'm just going to continue on here. We'll move this over here. Oh, yep. So I got my cylinder set, and I'm going to go into Prismatic, and I'm going to select this face and this face over here, and they touch. But I don't really want them to touch. Okay, so I was under Prismatic here. I just hit the undo button because I wanted to re-show that. I'm going to have to start from scratch. Remember, nothing's active. Hit this. And the first thing you want to define is cylindrical. So I'm going to get the two holes to line up, so that's why I'm using cylindrical. I'm going to grab towards the center of this hole and towards the center of this hole, and that should line those two axes up to maintain this coincidence. So I've got coincidence lined up. I've got coincidence on these two axes, which are the two axes for the center of the hole. The next thing I did was a prismatic. Under prismatic, so the type I'm doing next is prismatic, I'm going to grab this face, rotate this around, and grab this face over here. For some reason, it puts them so they're touching, their contact, and that's what this is doing right here. So it's got this face and this face. This blue line is waiting for a next line. I'm going to go back to the face to face I did, and on that one here I'm going to right click to do a replace. I don't want to do a face to face. I want to create an offset so that that wheel is centered and not touching the face. Now I happen to remember, oh, I guess it didn't because I kicked out. I'm going to change this to 1/4 inch because that's how I created this part to be centered, 1/4 inch gap on both sides. What I've done so far is in my engineering connections in the specification tree is I've fixed the top piece so it can't move. At least that's what I am hoping I did. And then I set up the axes so that there's a cylindrical concentricity between the holes. And then I went face to face to set the offset. Where in this wheel is it going to sit? Now what I want is that wheel to spin. This mode again under mechanical systems just locks everything down. I have to say okay, and just ignore this message. Yes, I'm sure I want to continue because you're making me go somewhere else to continue this. So I say yes, I'm going to continue, but I have to switch workbenches. In the old days you only stayed in one workbench, and the workbench was called Kinematic. Now Kinematics is found in equipment design. I'm not really sure how you would know that if I didn't tell you. But here's the tool, Kinematic. And the feature I'm going to use is called Defining Kinematics. So I'm going to define what motion I want, and the motion I want is the wheel to revolve. So you select on that and you wait for a pop-up window to come up, and no pop-up window will ever come up. It used to have you text in the bottom left corner telling you to pick something. It doesn't tell you now. You just have to know. I don't know why, but you just have to know what to pick. I'll pick this wheel, and then it gives you your options. So to me this seems a little backwards. Seems like this should come up and I tell it what I want to do, and then I go pick what I want to do. But you don't. There's no pop-up window, nothing telling you. You just got to know to pick the wheel. You're going to hit this revolution because I want to do a revolution around the cylinder. You have prismatic, that's how I did the other piece, and then rigid, and then anchors. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this, and it seems like I should be able to just say okay and take what it's got, but it doesn't. It's going to make me define something, and I found the easiest way to define the axis of revolution is to pick this orange, this circle with the 3 orange dots. So I pick this define plane, and 3 points will define a plane. I'm going to pick 3 points that lie on the circle to define a plane that sets the axis to go perpendicular to. Which seems like I shouldn't have to do that, but that's what you got to do as far as I can tell. So I'm going to click multiple points on that curve. Anywhere on that curve. They literally could be side by side, but just got to get that edge and see where that green dot comes in. When that green dot shows up, it'll allow you to set that axis. Now here again, I'm sitting here waiting for it to do something, and it's waiting for me to do something. Again, back in the old days, it would tell you go pick something. Like I want to pick this bracket so that it knows I'm going to anchor against a bracket, and yes, that is the bracket I want, so I click that check mark. And after I do that, it creates this mechanism up here in the top of the tree. And in the mechanism you have this joint revolution, which is what I just created. And that is a command. Okay, so the command 1 is revolution. You can get all kinds of revolutions and prismatics going on all at once, like if you had a pump or pulleys or something like that, pistons going in and out. That's how you would, this is the feature you'd use to set that up. Now, I want to check the command, but you notice my cursor? It won't let me pick anything. You know why? Because it still thinks I'm in Define Kinematics. And again, in the old days it would be highlighted, bright, it'd be easy to tell. This is still on. Define Kinematics is still active. I'm trying to go to my next command because I'm done setting commands. I only wanted that one revolution. I wanted to go check that. I can't do it because this is on. So you got to remember to turn that off so that you can come into command and double click the command, and you have a little bar here you can move back and forth, and you see what happened? I got that screwed up. I got the bracket rotating instead of the pulley. So I don't know what the heck is going on, but I'm doing something backwards here. The concept will still work the same. I can say close to that, and what I want to do is do a right click on your command to attach a motor. Now, I didn't think that would work from here, but I guess it does. I'm going to attach the motor, and you just leave it as the default. If it doesn't seem to be spinning right, you can try and change your numbers to change the velocity and time. I'm just going to use a constant speed and hit OK. After you've done that, you'll see there's a motor in there. You won't be able to run the motor until you have, you won't be able to run the kinematic until you have the motor set. So I'm going to hit play, and nothing happens. And then you think, oh man, I didn't do something right. Yeah, you didn't do something right. You didn't leave Delmia Equipment Design. It's the one place this doesn't work. It's goofy to me why we even have to exit, so don't ask me. I'm just telling you. You got to go into Mechanical Design. Whoops, too far. We got to go back to that Mechanical Systems Design, not Experienced Mechanical System Design. With the command active, you can hit play, and in this case you see my pulley here rotating. So we're going to make some adjustment here, or not the pulley, the bracket's rotating. Alright, So that's going to be this video for now, just to show you how to apply and set up a kinematic. I'll do one more kinematic, and then I'm going to show you a trick on how I built the wheel and the bracket. So that's going to conclude. Actually, you know what? I think the other one will be pretty quick. So let me go and exit out of this. Well, if I can find it. No. Yeah, that's it right there. Okay, again, I've already got this defined. And we can set limits, how far back I want it to go in the negative X direction, and how far forward I want it to go in the positive X direction, and then let it go slide back and forth and back and forth. But I'm just going to show you this one motion for now. So if you're having problems, and believe me, you'll probably do this a lot, you might just delete your parameters that you've created and then recreate them. You'll actually have to delete that joint as well. So what you got to do is select the top mechanism, and that will delete everything in the mechanism. So I just have this part and this part in an assembly. Now, instead of using engineering connection, you literally could do it like you're doing an assembly. If I click on this and hit fix, that should lock the bottom piece. Now I really don't have anything else to lock, because all I got is this thing sliding. So I'm going to go to 3D. Come on. Equipment design. Activate define kinematics. You're waiting for it to do something, and it's waiting for you, and it will always win. So you have to pick something here. I'm going to pick this part, and I want it to slide. So I'm going to use a prismatic joint, and oh, how did I do that? I'm going to try and define the plane again. So that should set up which direction to go. And I got to pick this piece that I'm anchoring and check that. Now if the other piece moves, that means I did it in the wrong order. I come up here, I see that it created a command. And again, why can't I pick this? Because it still thinks kinematics on for some reason. So I'm going to turn it off. Why? I mean, I suppose it's because you probably want to create more kinematics, but it just, with no pop-up window coming up, it just seems confusing. I'm going to create the motor, so we right-click, attach a motor. I'll just use their standard, whatever they came up with, and I'll hit play, and it won't play because it's actually playing the visualization of the windows. It can't play the command until you leave equipment design. So I go to 3D, and I go back to mechanical system design. Click on this, and I hit play. Okay, so you'd have to do the opposite order of what I did if you wanted the other piece to move. But it's confusing to me because I fixed it in the first place, so to me it doesn't seem like it matters what order I pick, because I decided that I wanted the bottom piece to be fixed, but it decided to do this instead. Alright, so you guys worked on some parts similar to this. You can have some fun here mimicking the kinematic features. I'm going to do another demo how I created the pulley and the bracket.